Welcome to the Nordic Football Podcast with me, Henry Nicholls, at Football in DK, and I'm back with another exclusive interview. This is one I'm really excited about, and it's been in the works a little while, so I'm delighted to be joined today by a current Superliga champion, FC Copenhagen, fullback Kevin Diks. Kevin, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for giving up some time in your busy schedule to talk.
Of course, no problem, man.
Kevin, you had a remarkable season at FC Copenhagen, winning the title actually in your first season at the club. How did it feel to play such a big role in a championship winning team?
Of course, it felt fantastic, but the league goes with ups and downs. It doesn't go perfect all the way, of course. Winning the championship, it comes with some struggles and good games and some bad games and perfect games. And I think I had a wonderful start in the season, but eventually the goals were that we should have get champion again in Denmark, and that's what we achieved last season.
And it's quite a young team. I think it's one of the younger squads in the league. How much do you sort of feel like a leader, even though you're only obviously in your mid-20s?
Yeah, I think I'm in the middle at the moment, but we have a lot of young guys. I think we have a lot of potential young, big talents. But I think we have the right balance at the moment. We have quite some experienced guys and a lot of potential young guys, young talents.
Fantastic. And obviously, prior to joining Copenhagen, you spent a couple of years in Aarhus before. Yeah. And I guess having played in Italy and the Netherlands as well, what was your first impression when you arrived in Denmark of the league in terms of, I guess, the quality and the speed compared to other places you've played?
I think it's a little bit different in playing in Holland or Italy or in Denmark. The difference between playing style, if I say it right, the playing style is a bit different. I think if you compare it to Holland, it's a little bit more physical here. You're a little bit more allowed in duels than in Holland, and tactical wise in Holland it's different than in Denmark. I really was surprised when I come to AGF the first time that it was I came in a very good environment. I remember that I was struggling at that moment with football, with my injury, everything also in life apart from football was not going well for me. So AGF at that moment was a really good spot for me, and from there on it's already quite fast. We're I think 2.5 years further, and now I'm in Copenhagen.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, how important was that, I guess, experience of the league to helping you make your mind up to decide to join Copenhagen?
When I came to AGF, of course you think about future steps, but you don't think about too much because it's you must take it day by day and game by game, because football, anything can happen any moment, every day, bad and good. But yeah, so when I started to go in AGF, the first thing I needed to do was get fit, because I had a big injury, and the first thing I was doing there was getting 2 months of still rehab training with the physios over there. So that was still struggling, because I thought in my head, like, okay, I'm gonna go to Denmark and I'm gonna be there straight away, but that was not what happened. So that was really hard for me in the beginning to get a hold of myself, to get a hold of my the old Kevin back, how to play, when to play and what to do. So that was it was a big of a change, but I knew this was like a moment where I need to stand up, because I don't have a lot of opportunities left at that moment. So yeah.
Fantastic. And I guess after 2.5 years, you must be starting to feel a little bit Danish. Is there what do you love most about the Danish culture or life in Denmark?
Whew, that's a difficult question. I think it's similar to Holland, like really similar to Holland in life, in like what do you think? Like, every culture has differences, but I think Danish are a little bit similar to Holland. People like to go out. I like the city; it's very good organized. So yeah, the organization in Denmark, I like it. It's very well structured, and it's really clear how everything works here.
You can tell you're a defender, liking structure.
Yes, yes. No, I like structure and yeah.
Fantastic. And I was lucky enough to travel over to Denmark a couple of weeks ago for the derby. I
Yeah.
wondered, how does the Copenhagen derby compared to the derbies you've played, let's say in the Netherlands?
I had this question before. It's quite big actually here. I didn't think it was this big when I arrived because I play in EF, of course, first. So
Hmm.
there was a derby, but not as big as Copenhagen Brøndby. So it's actually really, really big. But I have to still say that the Dutch derby Feyenoord Ajax is still like really big. But the only thing is that I didn't experience that Feyenoord and Ajax played with away fans. They were not allowed and
Ah,
still not
okay.
allowed because because of the fights they had a couple of years ago.
Hmm.
So that's a really big struggle for Holland. I think it's better always to have away fans. It's always a better experience, even if it's the away fans you play against. It's just a way better experience, and for everybody. You have only losers if one of the team doesn't have fans. But if you play away or at home, it makes a big difference because it's such a big atmosphere. They bring so much to the team, and yeah, they give you this 1 or 2% extra that can really help the team over the deadline, for example.
Yeah, it must be amazing. Everywhere you go in the country, there's
Yeah,
the
I
traveling
some
support is full.
even Linkby this weekend. I
Yeah.
thought we play home. Yeah,
And of course, you mentioned the away fans not being able to go in final.
yeah,
That's been the case in Denmark until the most recent derby. I think the previous two had no away fans.
yeah.
What was it like? I guess traveling to the away game in the coach for the first time. Did you get a sense of the atmosphere building on the way, or
Yeah. The first derby I was in, the first two I think we had fans, but then something happened, and then they said we don't have fans for the next 2 games, I think, or
Mhm.
3 games. I don't remember. But yeah, it was really, you know what you could expect because they will, like if we go to Brøndby, we knew that they were gonna heat everything up and make it difficult for us. So of course it's a little bit more difficult to play, but also in the other sense, it's also it gives you a little bit this like I want to, we want to win against them because they have so much support, and you can make them silence by playing
Yeah.
football and killing in the way, like killing the game or winning the game. And that's, if you win away in a derby, that's a really amazing feeling.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you actually, for for a match as fiery as the derby is, how do you balance the kind of intensity you need to play with to win a game like that, with the kind of calm head you need to keep to be able to focus on, I don't know, the tactics and your individual instructions?
Yeah, I think it's a balance you have to make, that you really need to be concentrated. That's first of all, you need to be concentrated in everything you do and not lose your, yeah, like concentration for a second. Because that will either cost a goal or either cost something or yellow card or whatever, or like a big tackle. You want to be there in these kind of moments, and to really, really be there and not like lack a little bit of concentration, and you
Mm.
don't get the 100% out of it, and you need to get 100% out of every situation in those kind of, yeah, I think every game, but especially when the other team also wants to try to haunt you or kill you or like really really go for you, then yeah, you need to be concentrated and be smart as well, because sometimes people just want to get in your head.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
Um, and also last season you played a number of games at left back
yeah.
due to injuries and stuff. How easy was it to adapt your
Well,
game to playing on the other side?
it's not the first time I've done it, so I've done it quite sometimes. Of course, I struggled with my form, like, and saying like one game it was like really good for playing out of position and really do amazing, but then the other game to play in another team that, yeah, adjusted a little bit of tactics or whatever, then it's a little bit more difficult.
Mhm.
So to be honest, it's not the like how I play at right back. Of course, it's different because I know what to do and it's the same and it's on the right position, but I think I can still make a lot of steps if I have to play on the left, in terms of playing and be smarter and just accept the situation that I play on the left and I just need to get the best out of it and do my absolute best, and then I can do also better. But that was a little bit of 50-50. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was really good, sometimes it was a little bit less.
Mhm.
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult, but I think you have to accept your situation as it is, and just go and be there for the team and help the team as best as I can or we can.
Absolutely. And I think that versatility is a great asset to have.
Yeah, I think it is very good to have that you can have and play in different positions. It's not only that I can play left back. I think I can play more positions, but I really prefer the right back.
Yeah. And this might be a ridiculous question, but do you have a preference when it comes to playing against like when you're playing right back, do you have a preference playing against an inverted winger versus a traditional winger in terms of what foot they play with?
No, I think most of the wingers at the moment are like left wingers are right-footed. They mostly go like inside or try to dribble at you with the right foot. So I think that's at the moment the most what happens, that I play against a winger who has a right foot. So I don't really matter. I just adjust a little bit how a guy is in the pitch, and I will look into clips how he plays, and then I know what I can do best, or can like prepare myself the
Got
best.
it. Yeah, and is there a particular opponent you faced in the Superliga who you remember being like really tough to play against or read?
Um, I think Mo Adarami and Kamaldeen. When I was in AGF, I played against Mo. 1 second, my dog is. Mo. When I was in AGF to play against him, well, I think it was a nice battle. It wasn't like a bad blood between us. It
Yeah.
was just like nice that we could show on the pitch, and that who got the upper hand. And sometimes it was him, sometimes it was me. But it were really nice battles, and I know that he will never get rid of me in those duels. But same for Kamaldeen. I think he was really, really good in 1 against 1 and dribbling, and was really fast. So sometimes adjusting was a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, yeah, and he's tearing it up in France at the moment, so
Yeah,
he hasn't skipped a beat.
I think he was injured for a little while, but what I've seen from last season, he was doing amazing.
Yeah, you talked about that amazing start last season, and Mo Darami was a big part of that. How good is it to kind of have him back in the squad for a full season together?
It's always good to have like a quality injection like that in the team, um, especially in these kind of big games we have at the moment. Straight away, it's important that we have a big squad. And Mo, I don't have to say anything about Mo, how good he is. So
Yeah.
I think it's really good for us that Mo joined us.
And it seems like since you joined the league, for a fullback, you do score quite a few goals, and also quite often with your head. Is
Yeah,
this something you've always kind of had in your locker, or is it something that
yeah,
you
I
kind of
did
worked on?
actually. I did actually from youth already. But in the beginning, like when I was in Vitesse, it didn't quite come out often. They left me like being for the rest defense because they didn't think I could head. But as I always said, like if you have somebody in mind, just keep me in your head so that I can go forward and maybe score a goal. And I think in my first 2 seasons, I only scored 2 goals, but they were both with my feet, so they weren't with the head. But I think the most goals I ever scored was these 2 seasons with AGF and Copenhagen. That day, it's like I believe in what I can do, and in my qualities, and then if the delivery is right, then I should be there. Of course, I will miss. I have also missed a lot of headers, but last season and the season before with AGF, I scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, and I guess people aren't looking for a right back to pop up in the area, so that's
No,
a secret advantage.
it's again what you say, a little bit of versatility you can have as a
Yeah.
player, that you can have extras a little bit, is also always nice.
And FC Co has quite an international squad. Do you always communicate in English, kind of on and off the pitch? And also,
Uh,
how's your Danish after 3 years?
the thing is, in Denmark, you don't have to speak Danish because
Yeah.
everybody speaks so well English. So I wasn't really like looking into learning Danish, because it's of course it's nice to speak Danish, but we have such a, what you say, such a diversity in the nationalities in squad. So I don't need to learn Danish. So I'm speaking with some guys Italian or English or whatever. And I speak with Boyle sometimes Dutch.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
And in terms of like your life, kind of off the pitch, are you able to live a relatively normal life in Copenhagen, or do you get recognized all the time? Does that make it difficult?
Well, I think I can. I think Danish people, they respect it. So if they recognize it, they're not always like coming forward to you. They always also look at the situation. For an example, when I'm walking with my girlfriend and my daughter with the stroller, then normally they let you alone. But sometimes they also come. It's just a mix. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it's not. I can live a relatively normal life, and I'm not out often. I'm mostly at home to chill, to relax.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you haven't had to wear a disguise yet?
No, I don't even need that. Not now.
For anyone listening to this who's not aware, there was an incident after the derby where some FC Co fans had their jerseys stolen on the train, and Brøndby fan actually, Rasmus Augustesen, helped raise money for from fans across Denmark for the victims. And I saw on Twitter that you also got involved in this by offering to kind of help replace the jerseys. And I guess first I wanted to say it was a fantastic gesture of you. So big respect for that. And
Thank you.
Secondly, it made me wonder about how you view social media. I mean, in this instance, it was obviously a force for good. It brought all these fans together and the players together and helped sort of right a wrong. But has your experience of social media generally been positive, or do you also experience the negative parts like abuse after a loss or whatever?
The thing is, social media, it's like very dangerous. It can be good, but it can also be like you read faster that somebody says something bad. It's not like I read it, but somebody reads it or somebody says it to you or whatever. For example, after the Brøndby game, when I got a red card away, I knew these things were coming because it was a very important game. We were close of being champion, and we kind of lost 2 points there, and I got a red card, and it was stupid. And these kind of moments, that it will happen. Of course, I didn't win everything, but some messages go too far, and then you put them through to the club because it goes too far. But I know what to expect. I've experienced this in the past as well in Feyenoord, that it can be really cruel from some people. But the funny part for me is that if they do that, they mostly write with unknown accounts, and then they like scared behind the computer or laptop or whatever, or the phone, and they don't want to come forward and say it face to face to you. Of course, we're not stupid as football players. If we do something bad, we know. It's not like we try to do something bad on purpose. But of course, you also see the good things, that sometimes you get recognition for what you do, and then they will say it to you faster than tag you, then they will do something bad and then tag you. They will always send you a bad message or whatever. But the thing is, with the t-shirts, I didn't look into it. I was just on Twitter, and I sometimes on Twitter you just see this for you, like something that I look a lot at football, so maybe that's why, and Danish football, that's why maybe I saw it. I saw the video and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, that's not nice. So I just said, if he wants a t-shirt, because I just saw one video, and I just said, if the guy wants a t-shirt, I will give him my a t-shirt of choice. And then I got a message of Rasmus, and then he told me that there's a lot of there was 4 or 5 guys. They went to the stadium against Anders. It was an awful game, but they got some shirts. But I also have some t-shirts for them. I had to arrange some autographs on it from the team. But in the busy schedule, it was a little bit difficult to get them straight away because we have some rules about signing t-shirts day before the game or whatever, or on the game day. So now I have them, so I will contact them today actually to say that I have the t-shirts with autographs and how they want.
Fantastic. Man, it's a really kind gesture of you. And
it's a small gesture for me, but I think for the guys, it's nice that they can get in contact with players and get this interaction and be involved a bit.
Yeah, it's one of the special things about Danish football, I think, that people are able to feel closer to the players without it being too overwhelming, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's interesting what you were saying about the bad messages kind of staying with you longer than the good ones. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I always have an Arsene Wenger quote somewhere nearby. But he talks about how you go up in the you go up on the stairs and you come down by the elevator, and I think it's the same with social media. The bad messages bring you down a lot faster than the good ones bring you up. So
exactly.
You've played in the Champions League group stage before with Feyenoord, but I mean, what would it mean to you if you were able to make it with FC Co?
The thing is that with FC Co, I had a little bit more of influence on it. It would mean a lot to me and mean a lot to the club and the fans and the city and all Denmark, I think, if we make it to the group stage. The thing is that with Feyenoord, they got champion before I came, and then I play Champions League. But still, it means a lot because you play group stage against the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like a childhood dream you have when you start playing football, that you want to be in this kind of level, World Cup, Champions League, this kind of games, And it would mean, I don't have to say how much it means. I think it speaks for
Yeah.
itself if you play Champions League. But I think we have a big duty to do on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like last week everyone really rose to the occasion and sort of played at a very high level. I guess, are you looking forward to the return leg? It's going to be a similar huge atmosphere out there, it looks like.
Yeah, I think we have to prepare for the worst. I think Turkish fans, they are really really passionate, and from what I've heard in Trabzon, it's really tough to play. So yeah, let's see. We have to be prepared for the worst and be at our best again. And I think we can do a lot of things also in Trabzon.
Absolutely, and I think, in terms of the draw, I guess Trabzonspor was probably one of the tougher teams you could get. So if you do make it through, I think it puts you in a great position for the groups, because you can sort of you've already experienced a tough game before even arriving.
Yeah, I think of course it's a tough game. I think all of the teams, of course, there were some that also were tough, but I think this was for us the toughest draw we could get. But again, I think we are also last season we showed that in Europe, but we are really strong, and it's hard to play against us. Doesn't matter how we play, playing or being a little bit lower or defending or whatever, we are really strong. But yeah, I think in the next, if and that's if, because we still have a big hurdle to take on Wednesday, then I think the opponents you get in Champions League, there everybody is strong there. So
yeah, absolutely. And when you travel for European games, do you share with someone specific, or do you get your own room?
We get our own rooms because
Okay.
it's a little bit, like from my own experience, if you have somebody in the room that wants to sleep an hour later or half an hour later, or is like more noisy or snores or whatever, this funny story that people snore or talk in their sleep, it's difficult for preparation for some guys, and I understand.
Yeah, I've got plenty of friends who I've had that experience with, and I've learned never to share a hotel room with them before.
No, I also talk in my sleep, but that's only when I'm really really tired. But that mostly doesn't happen. I've never heard that somebody said to me, "You talk in your sleep." Well, actually, this summer, yes, but I got sick in training camp, so Marius was sleeping in my room, and he said, "You were talking in your sleep." I said, "Yeah, that's when I'm really tired, but I got sick, so yeah, that makes sense."
Got it. And finally, I know earlier this year you became a father, so congratulations to that. And
thank you.
I guess I know from my own experience how tough it can be to balance a working life with, being a father of young kids. And it must be especially hard for a footballer, given how important rest is in your kind of recovery process.
Yeah.
How do you balance the job of like being a dad with the job of being a professional footballer and all the things that come with that?
It's difficult because to be 100% fair, when you're like when you get a kid, you want to be there all the time, because they grow so quick. I think, as you know, they grow so quick. Before you know, they get the age of 4 or 5 or even older, and they don't want to be with you anymore. Now they still want to be with you, so that's still nice. But yeah, of course, it's a little bit of a struggle. But also on the other way, I have time after training to enjoy the times with my daughter and my wife or my girlfriend together, to rest and to enjoy being a father. Of course, it was a struggle at the beginning because you have to find your way, or to find the rhythm, or find the organization, how to work everything out. But yeah, my girlfriend has been amazing in that part, so I sleep good.
It's good to hear.
Also, my daughter is amazing. She sleeps at night, so yeah.
Oh, I'm very jealous.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, sometimes she wakes up, but she doesn't need a lot. She sleeps quite good.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Well, lucky you. Well, Kevin, you've got a huge game in Turkey to prepare for, so I won't keep you any longer. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk today. It's a real honor to have you on the show. And I can say personally, it's been a huge pleasure watching you play. So I wish you all the best, not only for the game this week, but for the rest of the whole season.
Thank you very much. And maybe we see each other again in the future.
Let's do it.